Aloha from the beautiful island of Oahu, and welcome to the 2023 HURT 100 Trail Race Briefing. My name is Steve, and I've got a whole bunch of information to share with you about our upcoming race. First, we want to give a big shout out to Na'alahele, which is the State of Hawaii Trail and Access Program. We also want to give a huge mahalo to all of our partners, and especially to all of our many volunteers who have done an incredible amount of work in order to put this event on for us. Without them, this event wouldn't be able to happen. This will be the 22nd running of the HURT 100. And to get things started, I'd like to introduce you to the man we all know and love, my friend, the legendary Mr. John Samuelson.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome back to Hawaii. Welcome back to HURT, the revised, renovated, back to normal HURT. We look forward to seeing you and run on our trails. Just as a reminder, HURT came up with this race in 2001, and HURT was founded in 1982. No profit, no assholes. We really like having mainland people and local people and all of our friends join us on our trail. Everything is pretty much back to normal. We're even reinventing the magic bracelets. The magic bracelets are a plastic band you put on your wrist, and then you dip it in the magic creek water, which is energized spiritually from the mountains and from the trails that you'll be running on. And you dip that in that and put it back on your wrist, and that gives you extra energy. And if you need extra energy and you see someone ahead of you, click your wristbands together and it'll give you extra energy. And you can keep them and you can wear them. We have people that have worn them for 10 years. Remember, this is the coolest race that you'll ever run. And the volunteers are wonderful. The aid stations are to die for, and you're going to have a lot of fun, and it's impossible to get lost out there. We're thrilled to have everything back to normal. We're pretty much on go with everything that we started. We have more volunteers, and we have a safety patrol that's out there to take care of you. Please be careful of hikers and tourists, and please take care of each other. It's really important. This is more of a family in Ohana than a race. We will really enjoy seeing you out there, and you'll enjoy being out there.
By now, you should have read the Book of HURT. If you haven't, please go to our website at hurt100.com. You'll see a link for the Book of HURT. Your crew and your pacers should read it too. It's very important to understand and comply with the rules. Violations of the rules by runner, pacer, or crew could result in a disqualification of the runner. We always expect courteous behavior and sportsmanlike conduct from our runners towards our volunteers, hikers, and fellow runners. In keeping with the HURT mission statement of no sponsors and no assholes, we will not allow any disrespectful behavior towards any of our volunteers. There are a couple runners that are not here this year because they did not believe in that objective. Runners will be responsible for the behavior of their pacers and crew. Rule violations by pacers or crew will result in disqualification of the runner. I'll talk more about the roles and rules for crews and pacers throughout the briefing. Please don't litter. You guys know that already, so we'll leave it there. Stashing of supplies or gear on the course is not permitted and would be considered littering. Muling is not permitted. Your pacers cannot carry any of your gear or your supplies. Aid from crews can only be given within the confines of the aid stations. No course cutting is allowed. Follow the ribbons and the signs. If in doubt, refer to your map. We'll talk more about the course later. Also, keep in mind that we share the trails with other trail users. So please be friendly if you see other people out on the trails, and if someone gives you the right of way, give them a big thank you and a shaka. While many of us love dogs, Please leave your dog at home, as there are some runners that are very afraid of dogs, and this event is for the runners. So please keep your dogs at home. Check in at every aid station. Make sure that the timing volunteer knows your bib number. If you happen to stay in the aid station for more than 30 minutes, please make sure that the aid station captain or a timing volunteer knows that you're still in the aid station so we can track you appropriately. If you need to drop from the event, you must notify the aid station captain. We can't have you simply walking off the course without letting us know. If you don't tell us that you're dropping, we will have no choice but to assume that you're lost out in the jungle somewhere, and we will notify search and rescue, which is a very big deal. Cutoff times are strictly enforced. You must exit and not re-enter the aid station prior to the following times on your 5th loop. You must be out of the Makiki aid station and back on the course for your 5th lap by 11 a.m. Sunday morning. You must be out of the Manoa aid station and back on the course by 1:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon. You must be out of the Nu'uanu aid station and back on the course by 3:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon. If you miss the cutoff, we cannot let you back on the course. Hurt is a cupless race. Please be sure to bring your own cup for cold fluids. Hot fluids will be served in disposable cups. Runners are allowed 1 pacer at a time. Pacers are allowed after 60 miles or 5 p.m. on Saturday night, whichever comes first. Pacers may only start from an aid station, and you can change them as often as you like, as long as you only have 1 pacer at a time. Runners are 100% responsible for their pacers' behavior and well-being. The Paoa Flats Boardwalk is not to be used by any runner on any loop, anytime during the event. Runners, if you see another runner utilizing the boardwalk at Paoa Flats, please bring it to their attention and report it to the next aid station captain on your arrival. We will not weigh you or take your blood pressure, and we will not dispense any medications. Runners will be totally responsible for all their own gels, energy bars, electrolyte tablets, aspirins, etc. If any aid station or the race director think that you're unable to continue, we reserve the right to pull you from the race. Dehydration is a serious problem. We recommend that you carry 32 to 64 ounces of fluid between each aid station. I know my Canadian friends are going to laugh at me, but hypothermia in Hawaii is a real thing, especially when it's raining, like it is right now, and you're up on one of the ridges, like I am right now. So please be prepared. Crews and family will be responsible for their own food and drink, so we ask that they do not use the runners' aid stations. For safety reasons, crews are not allowed to go out on the course after 5 p.m. without notifying the aid station captains. It's very easy to get lost after dark. Okay, let's talk about course records now. The ultra fast Tracy Garneau is the women's record holder at 24 hours and 6 minutes. She set that record in 2010. And the men's record is held by the highly esteemed Mr. Gary Robbins at a blistering 19 hours and 35 minutes. He set that record in 2013. Now please note that both of these runners are Canadians. So maybe it has something to do with training when it's 25 below zero and eating a lot of maple syrup. I don't know. But a prize of $500 will be given for any new course record established to the winning male and female runner. This is a 100-mile race, but we will give recognition to anyone who finishes 67.5 miles, what we call the fun run. You must go to the Paradise Park station on the 4th loop to receive credit. We will not provide transportation back to the start finish, but with other crews, it's never been a problem. Recognition basically means you get a high five and an attaboy or an attagirl. On Sunday night, please help us clear the start-finish area as soon as possible, as we're all tired and want to get home. We usually have to threaten people to get them to give up their chairs, so please understand and help. Runner bag pickup is from 4 p.m. till 6 p.m. on Friday, January 13th in the Manoa Valley District parking lot. That's on Manoa Road, closest to the corner of Lowry Avenue, just past the bus stop on the right. Look for the signs that says packet pickup. One car at a time, stay in your car, show your ID, and we'll hand you your bag. For those who do not have a car, we encourage you to either use a ride share or post on the Facebook group Hurt 100 Official, and you'll find some others that might be willing to carpool with you. There are some important items in your runner bag. The parking permit and the parking rules for Halau Kumana will be in the bag. The parking permit needs to be filled in and displayed on your windshield. We'll talk more about parking a little bit later. Your race bib will not be in your bag. You'll receive your race bib on race morning when you check in. However, your bag will contain 3 drop bag bibs to attach to your 3 separate drop bags. We'll talk a little bit more about bibs and drop bags later, and you'll also find some really cool swag in your bag. Okay, and finally, we would like to give a huge shout out to all of our partners that help us put on the event and give you all the cool swag. So we'd like to thank Scratch Labs, Drymax, Goo Energy Labs, Squirrel's Nut Butter, Uloha Outfitters, Mochi Foods, Runners High, Menehune Water Company, Aloha Friday Wheelworks and Running Company, Outside Rocks, the Orchid Lay Company, Two Toms. Parking is always a challenge, so please help us maintain our good relationship with the community by following these simple rules. Try to carpool. If you're coming alone, take a taxi or try using a rideshare like Uber or Lyft. And please make sure to plan your transportation well in advance. Prior to the start, only aid station volunteers will be allowed to drive above the Nature Center entry gate. Runners must park or get dropped off below the gate prior to start. No one will be allowed to drive up and drop off a runner as we need the area for aid station setup. All runners leaving their car for the duration of the race must park below the gate on Makiki Drive. Make sure that your car is completely off the roadway and your tires are not touching the asphalt or you risk getting towed. There is parking in the small lot by the gate and down in the Halau Kumana school lot that you'll see as you drive up the road. The Halau Kumana parking lot will be opened at 4:15 a.m. on Saturday morning, and runners can park there. Please make sure that your parking permit is visible and it has the name and the cell phone number of the driver clearly visible. Only vehicles with the parking class displayed are allowed to park here. Make sure that all of your drivers have read the instructions. Halau Kumana School works very hard to maintain the native Hawaiian ecosystem, so please do not go beyond the yellow marking tape even if you're on foot. There will be trash bins and a portable toilet in the lot, so please use them and not the grass. There will be a parking lot attendant throughout the race. Please obey their instructions. It's very important to know that the Halau Kumana lot will be locked promptly at 6:45 Sunday evening, so make sure that you get your vehicle out of there or it will be locked until Tuesday morning because Monday is the Martin Luther King holiday. After you park, you'll walk up the road with your drop bags. Please keep the noise down because there are residents that live on the road and we don't want to disturb them. After the first loop, crew cars with displayed permits can drive up past the gate to drop off crews and supplies. But there is extremely limited parking above the gate, so please try to park below the gate if you plan on hanging out at the aid station for a while. We will have reserved spaces for deliveries and race officials, so please keep these spaces clear. Also, you may see cones marking off private residences and unsafe areas, and no parking at the caretaker's house or driveway. At the Paradise Park aid station in Manoa, there will be no access for cars, crew, or family during the first loop, no exceptions. Much too congested over there. You may access Paradise Park after 10:45 a.m. Saturday morning. Paradise Park is on private property and they allow us to use their lot. They have a $7 parking fee that you'll pay directly to the parking lot attendant, and that's good for the 2 days of the event. There's limited but free parking along Manoa Road, and that's about a 10-minute walk to the aid station. Please make sure that you don't block anyone's driveway. The extremely limited park at Nu'uanu Jackass Ginger aid station is for aid station volunteers only. No crew, no pacers or families can park there. You may drop off a pacer, but you may not park there. For pacers who are taking an Uber or Lyft, which we highly recommend, the address for the Nu'uanu aid station is 4069 Nu'uanu Pali Drive. Lastly, wherever you find parking throughout the race, please don't leave any valuable items in your car. Even though there'll be parking lot attendants, they cannot be responsible for any loss or break-ins. You must check in with us race day morning to receive your bib and so that we know that you're running. The mandatory runner check-in is from 4:30 a.m. until 5:45 a.m. You will receive your race bib at check-in. The mystical bowl of magical water from the Maleka stream will be at the check-in counter for you to dip your wristband in. Once your wristband has been activated with the magical water, you will be energized with a strength and endurance that you've never before experienced. Once you've completed the check-in and energized your wristband, please exit the area as soon as possible so the arriving runners can check in too. Then head over to the sign that says Runners Waiting Area and place the race bib on the front of your clothing so that it's clearly visible from the front. Do not put it on the back of your pack. There will be portable toilets in the upper area as well as the permanent restrooms, but the bridge will be roped off until the start. At approximately 5:55 a.m., we'll ask all runners to gather on the bridge, and the race will start promptly at 6 a.m. by the blowing of the conch shell, which is a tradition that was started by our recently departed dear friend and hurt veteran, Clem Garai. Bring your drop bags to the starting line, which is the Makiki aid station, Saturday morning. Drop bags will leave Makiki at 5:50 a.m. just before the start of the race. You'll find 3 drop bag bibs with aid station names in your drop bags. Make sure you attach these bibs to your drop bags before you arrive. We have 3 aid stations. We have Makiki, which is the start line. We have Manoa, which is Pirates of Paradise, and we also have Nu'uanu, which is also known as Jackass Ginger. Please keep the bags within the dimensions of 18 inches high, 18 inches wide, and 24 inches long, or 46 centimeters high, 46 centimeters wide, and 61 centimeters long. We will not accept any bags larger than those dimensions. You're not climbing Mount Everest, so please don't show up with an Everest Expedition duffel bag. You'll be responsible to collect your bags at the Halau Kumana parking lot by 6:15 Sunday the 15th. As aid stations close, the drop bags will be driven over to Halau Kumana, but feel free to pick up your own drop bags at the aid stations if you finish early or if you have to drop. Any items not collected by that time will be either donated, recycled, or discarded. Veteran runner and many-time finisher of the Hurt 100, Mauricio Puerto, and his crew have done an excellent job marking the course, so you'll have no problem staying on the course at all. Like John said earlier, it's almost impossible to get lost. You may notice a few gentle rolling hills along the course, and rumor has it that there might be a few exposed tree roots, maybe a rock here and there, but don't worry, you got this. From the start in Makiki, you're going to be following the white ribbons and white arrows that say Manoa. You'll follow them up and over to the Manoa aid station. When you depart the Manoa aid station, you'll then follow the lime green ribbons and arrows that say Nu'uanu. You go up and over to the Nu'uanu aid station. When you depart the Nu'uanu aid station, you'll then follow the orange ribbons that say Makiki up and over and back down to the Makiki aid station. And then you get to do the whole thing 4 more times So by the 5th loop, you should pretty much have it dialed in. There are several out and back areas, so you may notice 2 different color ribbons in the same area, but don't worry, just follow the appropriate color and signs and it will take you directly to the next aid station. Do not follow the blue ribbons or the signs that say wrong way. Blue is bad. Blue ribbons are used to block trails that are dead ends or off course, so do not follow the blue ribbons. Keep in mind that occasionally kids or maybe a disgruntled hiker might pull down some ribbons or mess with us in some way. So make sure that you carry your map just in case any ribbons get pulled down. You'll also see some pink ribbons on the course, and these pink ribbons are used by Na'alahele to mark the native Hawaiian plant, so please leave those alone. Crews will be allowed at Makiki when your runner completes his or her first loop. No crew will be allowed at Nu'uanu throughout the entire race. Crews will be allowed at Manoa Aid Station after 10:45 a.m. on Saturday. There will be a $7 parking pass that can be purchased at Paradise Park, good for the remainder of the event. Each runner can have multiple crew members this year. At the Makiki Aid Station and the Manoa Aid Station, we ask that the crews stay in the designated crewing areas and not enter the aid station until their runner arrives at the aid station. Once the runner has arrived at the aid station, then the crew can, of course, enter the aid station. If the crew is going to set up their own support, that must be in the crew designated area. Volunteers can get the runner's drop bags before the runner arrives into the aid station. Runners are allowed 1 pacer at a time. Pacers are allowed after 60 miles or after 5 p.m. Saturday, whichever comes first. Pacers may only start from one of the 3 aid stations. You can change pacers as often as you like, but you can only have 1 pacer at a time. Muling is not permitted. Your pacer cannot carry any of your gear or supplies. Runners are 100% responsible for their pacer's behavior and well-being. Pacers are allowed to start from Nu'uanu, but they cannot park there. So please plan ahead and use another means of drop-off or pickup. If you're going to take an Uber or a Lyft, which we highly recommend, the address for the Nu'uanu aid station is 4069 Nu'uanu Poly Drive. When you're out on the course, you'll see the infamous Hurt Safety Patrol. The Hurt Patrol will be led by Mr. Jeff Fong this year, and as reflected in the group's name, the Hurt Safety Patrol is there to ensure your safety while you're out on the course. Whether you're a runner or a pacer, the Hurt Patrol will be there for you should anything unexpected occur. Hurt Patrollers will be on the course and at the aid stations throughout the event. So if you happen to come upon some bad luck and you need assistance, whether it's directions, medical needs, or anything race related, please don't hesitate to ask. The Hurt Patrol cannot give you aid. They cannot and will not give you water, Cliff Bars, goos, ibuprofen, batteries, headlamps, etc. Speaking of headlamps, whatever aid station you find yourself at after 2 p.m. on Saturday, it is highly recommended that you take a headlamp or whatever your preferred lighting system is back with you out on the trail. Every year we have a runner or two approach a patroller begging for a flashlight, saying they didn't expect it to get dark so quick. Sorry, dude, you're on your own. Please understand that the majority of the patrol team are not medical professionals, so they can only provide minimal assistance. In the case of a serious injury, the patrol will conduct the race emergency procedures to ensure that the person in need is properly taken care of, as well as remain with them until they are tended to. The patrol will also assist the race directorate to see that all are playing by the rules and respecting the AINA. Please be sure to bring out whatever you take out onto the trails with you. We have zero tolerance for littering. And remain on the course route. The boardwalk up on Paoa Flats is strictly off limits. Do not use the boardwalk. It actually becomes quite a safety hazard because it's slippery when it's wet. It's starting to fall apart, so don't use the boardwalk. Any entrants found running along the boardwalk will be warned, reported, and risk disqualification. You're going to get two different types of bibs. You'll get a race bib and you'll get 3 drop bag bibs. Your race bib will not be in your runner's bag, but your runner's bag will contain the 3 drop bag bibs with 3 aid station names on them: Makiki, Manoa, and Nu'uanu. Remember, those are for your drop bags. These are not the racer bibs. Attach those drop bag bibs to your drop bags when you drop them off Saturday morning. Drop bags without those bibs will not be accepted. You'll receive your race bib when you check in race morning beginning at 4:30 a.m. Once you've received your race bib on Saturday, place it on the front of your clothing so it's clearly visible from the front. Do not put it on the back or on your pack or anything like that. There is a phone number printed on the front of your bib. This is the number that you can call if you need assistance during the race, if you get lost, injured, something like that. It's only to be used in the case of an emergency. This number is printed upside down so you can look at it easier while you're on the course. The number will only be active during the race. If you need to contact us after the race, please email us, but do not contact this phone number. In closing, I just want to say you've trained hard for this. It's going to be very challenging, but it's also going to be a spectacular experience that you will never forget. So get some rest, and we'll see you at the starting line. On behalf of the Hurt Directorate, all of the volunteers, and the entire Hurt Ohana, we wish you all a great race. Aloha. I almost forgot. If you have any friends or family that want to follow the race online, we'll have all the tracking information on the Hurt100.com website. I'm going to go get a couple waves.